Everyone is in now.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Garrett Kohler. I'm the press secretary to Minister Dimitrios Nicolaides, Minister of Education for Alberta's government. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy evening and joining us today to talk about Budget 25 and what it has in store for education and what it has in store for Alberta's students and Alberta overall. Just some housekeeping rules before we go over. We're going to go over a slideshow first. Minister will lead that. From there, we'll move into our questions. I'll call on you to present your question. Please turn on your camera as we are going to be recording this roundtable, and we can send you that recording after, and you can use it for your purposes. So when you are spotlighted, please turn on your camera to ask the minister your question. We'll do one question per outlet. And if we have time at the end, we will go back around for another set of questions. One question this time around because we have a few participants and we want to make sure we get to everyone. Your colleagues may ask a question that you have, so keep your ears up and make sure that you're listening so we don't repeat any questions and we respect everyone's time. At the end of the roundtable, please turn on all your cameras. We'll do a screenshot so you have a photo and proof that you met with the minister and we're able to ask him questions about budget. We'll remind you to do that near the end. And just a reminder, any unruly outlets will be muted. And if infractions continue throughout the roundtable, you will be removed. We want to respect everyone's time here. So please conduct yourselves accordingly. So without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to the Minister of Education, Minister Dimitrios Nicolaides. Minister, all yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Garrett. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me. As you can probably tell, I'm joining you today from home, so apologies in advance for any background noise from little voices. But I want to thank you for joining me. I'm really happy to present what Budget 25 means for our education system. I know that education is something that's incredibly important to you and to your communities, and I always appreciate the opportunity to meet with you and connect. As I mentioned today, I'll share some highlights, and then I'll be happy to take your questions. So on slide 2, as you may know, Alberta's education system is currently facing several challenges, including growing communities, rising enrollment, and increased costs. These are all putting pressure on our schools. Now, what we have tried to do in this budget is listen very carefully to our teachers, to our partners, and most importantly of all, take action to make sure that these challenges are addressed. And that's exactly what Budget 25 does. At the same time, we're preparing Alberta students for the future with a long-term commitment to increase funding and focus more on career education so that students are ready for their future opportunities. Now, on slide 3 here, you'll see that to keep up with these challenges, our education system, it now has reached a record high level of investment. Our total investment in Budget 25 now stands at $9.8 billion for this year alone. That represents an increase of 426 million or 4.5% from last year. Now, in slide 4, there's a couple of things to focus on specifically. First and foremost, the budget provides $1.1 billion over the next 3 years to address enrollment growth. This funding will go to our school boards so that they can hire more teachers, more support staff, address class sizes, and other needs. We expect that this funding can be used to support hiring more than 4,000 more teachers, educational assistants, and other support staff over the next 3 years. In this budget, we're also investing $1.6 billion to specialized learning needs. This is mostly for groups of students who require extra support. In this $1.6 billion, we're including $55 million for classroom complexity so that school boards can hire more EAs. and other support staff. It also includes grants such as the Refugee Student Grant and the English as an Additional Language Grant. In the 1.6 billion, there's also 487 million to support safe transportation for more than 335,000 students across the province. And in addition, we're investing 66 million to help support modernizing and updating our curriculum. This funding continues our commitment to support teachers' professional learning and development growth. On slide 5, we'll also talk lastly about schools. In Budget 25, we are taking steps to make sure that we build the schools that our students need. In September of 2024, the Premier announced an $8.6 billion to help grow spaces in some of our fastest growing communities. In Budget 25, we are building 41 school projects. 30 will be new schools, 5 will be replacements, 3 modernizations, and 3 charter school projects. In the next 2 budgets, we'll be making very similar announcements to build much needed schools. Through this school building program, our aim is to deliver more than 100 new and updated schools over the next 7 years to add over 200,000 student spaces. We're also investing $723 million this year to support upkeep, maintenance of our existing facilities to ensure roofs, boilers, windows, and floors are all operating as they should. So on slide 6, that is my very brief presentation. I'm very happy to take any questions that you might have about Budget 25. But as you can see, Budget 25 provides a significant investment into our education system. Thank you for joining me again today, and happy to take your questions.
All right, with that, if I'm done sharing, which I don't think I am. One sec, my apologies. How do I do this?
Well, maybe while Garrett's trying to do that, Sunil, I don't know, I see your camera's on if you want to take the first question.
Thank you, boss. Really appreciate, and thank you for giving a detailed budget guidelines. We did ask this question, my question is what we have in plan, especially the kids or the students from grade 1 till grade, to the high school, who have intellectual disabilities, which include social anxiety, ADHD, FASD. They don't fit anywhere. Like we have all the sports program, but they cannot participate because they have a social anxiety. Schools, the classroom size does not work. We had only one Catholic school here, which was St. Gabriel, which basically led this kind of facilities, but that has been shut down, not shut down, but they are not taking any program from grade 10 onwards because they don't have any funding. So in this whole process, do you have any plans specifically for the children who kind of left out or dropped even for trade schooling or any education which is needed on as per their standard, because their education is behind, social skills are behind, they're shy to ask? That's my question to you, sir.
Okay, thanks so much, Sunil. Good to see you again. Yes, you're right. There are a lot of students in our education system that need more help, that need more support. Students that maybe are suffering from or trying to deal with anxiety or ADHD or other challenges. This is really important, and we believe that we have to support these students in extra ways, in special ways, so that they can reach their full potential. So there are a couple of different things that we do to help support these students. One of the main ways in which we try to help these students is by providing targeted funding to our school boards. We provide right now about $1.6 billion in the giant category of learner supports. This money goes to our school boards, and the school boards can use this funding as they deem best to help support students that need some more support. On top of that, we also created in 2023 the Classroom Complexity Grant. This grant is to be used specifically by school boards to hire educational assistants. And oftentimes we know that students that might have some learning disabilities or other issues need the support of an EA, of an educational assistant. And this Classroom Complexity Grant helps school boards hire EAs and give students those support. Although this was created in 2023, we increased that grant in this budget by 20%. So this year, $55 million will be going to our school boards specifically to help them hire EAs and help those children that need extra support in the classroom. So this is something that's very important to the government and something that we are putting a lot of resources and funding towards.